So today we are making a lovely loaf of banana bread. This is a super simple, versatile recipe. When I say simple, it's got 5 ingredients. And when I say versatile, you could literally use any oil, any type of sugar, plain flour or gluten-free flour, and some baking powder. You can put in a sprinkle of cinnamon, some chopped walnuts, some chocolate chips, or all of the above for an indulgent and simple snack. So to start the banana bread, we just need to preheat the oven and line it in. Check out my video for how to get this flawless finish. I don't like seeing scrunched up paper, it looks a bit too rustic for me. I think that's just the inner pastry chef perfectionist in me. We're going to start by just combining a wet mix and a dry mix. So into a bowl, plain flour, baking powder, and just going to give those a quick whisk. That's just going to sift our flour and distribute the baking powder. And then a wet mix. Now you could use a blender, you can use a hand blender, doesn't matter. But we need 400 grams, and bananas are all different sizes, so I would recommend just weighing this. We have to use brown bananas. Brown bananas, there's no way of kind of substituting the flavor that you get from a brown banana. And I find that if you use kind of an unripened banana, it's a crime, and you do have to add a lot more sugar to your recipe. So what happens is you've got these starches in the banana that are being converted to sugar naturally. I've tried all kinds of methods for making ripe brown bananas, and they make them brown, but they don't taste like ripe banana. You don't need a blender at all for this recipe, because you could technically just mash it in a bowl with the sugar and oil and whisk it until it's a loose, wet consistency. But I like to blend it, it's just easier. Cap on and blend. Simple. So now we just add this lovely banana juice to our flour and baking powder. The smell is insane. And I'm gonna use a whisk because I find the batter comes together quicker with a whisk. Having said that, we don't want to overmix this, so we're just kind of using a folding motion around the edges, and as soon as it starts to combine, we can kind of go at it a tiny bit harder, just until it's a nice smooth batter. So it shouldn't take that much effort. There we go. So now we just want to pour our batter into the tin. This is also just a great way of using up old bananas, but I buy bananas just to ripen them to make banana bread. Give a gentle tap just to level the batter. One of the things that I like to do for my loaf cakes is to put a little crack in the top. So just using the back of a spoon, make an indent like so, and then just put a very tiny drizzle of oil down the middle. You can use any fat because all it's going to do is facilitate a nice controlled crack down the middle of the cake. My lovely banana bread. It's been 35 minutes. It's a nice and tall loaf. With a loaf cake, they are prone to having an unbaked strip underneath the cracking, because that's the last part of the cake to bake. So we just do a skewer test by poking a toothpick or a skewer into the middle of the cake through one of the cracks. And that's come out clean. There's no wet batter on it, indicating the cake is done. So we just can proceed to lift out the cake via the lining while it's hot, but do be careful, and just peel away the paper and allow that to cool fully on the rack. Whoa. So our beautiful loaf has cooled down. Big board, but one of my favorites. And I'm going to cut into it. got this stunning banana bread, cooked all the way through. Smells amazing. Simple, versatile, and delicious.